Okay, our lesson for today is about intercultural communication. Okay, let's have first the objectives of our lesson. Okay, at the end of this lesson or module, you will be able to identify the aspects of intercultural communication, to identify the problems and in intercultural communication, and last, to be able to identify and apply strategies to avoid intercultural communication breakdown. Why is it important to have understanding between different cultures? Okay, to understand people behavior. Next, to prevent the misunderstanding. And next, to respect and the differences between cultures. And lastly, to communicate the right message to the right people. Communication is the vehicle of which meanings are conveyed, identity is composed and reinforced, and feelings are expressed. As we communicate using different cultural habits and meaning systems, both conflict and harmony are possible outcomes of any interaction. Okay, meaning to say, culture is the accumulated learned behavior of a group of people. Okay, it is the way of life of people that they accept without thinking, and it is passed along from one generation to another through imitation and communication. Okay, aside from that, culture doesn't have to be from another country. It can also be observed from people living in the same country but from different regions or states, or even groups of people coming from different schools, religion, and even family. Okay, why is it intercultural communication? Or what is intercultural communication? Okay, interpersonal interaction between members of different groups which differ from each other in respect of knowledge shared by their members and in respect of their linguistic forms of symbolic behavior. Okay, meaning to say intercultural communication involves communicating with another person or group of people coming from a background or community who does not share your beliefs, traditions, symbolism, or values. Okay, this kind of communication should be done in a mindful way to be able to engage each other properly and effectively. So if there are aspects of intercultural communication. First, the cultural identity. Okay, the cultural identity, it is the culture. Culture is the sum of the beliefs, tradition, values, symbols, and practices of a group of people. Okay, different culture doesn't necessarily mean you live in different country or continent. Okay, different culture can be seen within a community. Okay, culture in rural areas and culture in urban areas. Okay, we can even observe different culture from another family who lives next door to us. Okay, for example, Chinese families teach children early on the value of handling money, well as they want their children to focus more on business, maths, and sciences. Okay, it is part of their culture to be transparent when it comes to money matters. Okay, on the other hand, Filipinos shy away from talking about money with their family as it is, okay, and money is often a topic avoid it brings misunderstanding. Okay, next, the gender role. Okay, gender is a social construct and is not synonymous to sex. Okay, which refers to the anatomical differences between male and female. Okay, gender roles are learned and thought by culture, and a culture's language reflects the social roles of men and women. Example, okay, example can be calling an assertive girl as bossy and calling an assertive boy a leader. Okay, immediately you can observe the negative connotation of the term bossy. Okay, that is usually used to describe women in a patriarchal society. Okay, male language is often direct, commanding, and assertive, while female language should be polite, collaborative, and nurturing. Okay, next, the age identity. Okay, this refers not only to their biological age, but it is also about how they think and feel about themselves as they age. Okay, age identity uh, influences one's self-image, language use, personality, attitude, and communication with others. Okay, we consider that some children can be matured and not all adults are responsible and matured. Okay, we may have dealt with cases wherein all people usually generalize that teenagers as brash and impulsive, even if this is not true. Okay, in other instances, okay, advertisements use lifespan related identities can use to trigger affect to a certain period. For example, the infamous McDonald's commercial. If you remembered Karen and his Lolo. Okay, this commercial showed the relationship of Karen and the granddaughter and her grandparent who were eating at McDonald's. Okay, this commercial became popular at ease, showcases the relationship of the brand with the relationship of the two characters. Next, the social status. Okay, social status is determined and assigned according to income, titles, professions, and etc. Okay, social classes in other culture also differ from one another. Okay, generally speaking, the lower cases usually work blue collar jobs while the upper middle and elite or upper class holds white collar jobs or manage their own business. Okay, perception of a person's status affects how the people around her communicate. Okay, here in the Philippines, the use of the English language with the slight um, projects and elite social status. Okay, stated an interview with a Gidon, a student publication, English proficiency Athenians. It's a marker of a kind of elitism in our country. So nakakaapekto din yung paggamit natin ng English language. So meaning to say if you are fluent and speaking in English, so may isip nila minsan na okay, magaling siya, matalino siya, galing siya sa marangyang buhay. So nakakaapekto din, isa din yon sa mga aspect ng intercultural communication, the social classes. Okay? And lastly, the religion. Okay, religion is defined which acts establish powerful, what do you call this one? Religious identity is when someone sees themselves as a member of a religious group and may be active or inactive in participating their rituals and costumes. Okay, religion plays a big part in the lifestyle of a person and seen as the sacred and important. Thus, religious issues and prejudices should be handled respectfully. Okay, why is it important to learn about cross-cultural communication. Okay, let's go back to the aspect of intercultural communication. Okay, according to the 5 aspect of intercultural communication, why is it important to learn more about cross-cultural communication? Okay, at this day and age, travel has become easier, and the internet have made cultures more exposed and accessible. To be able to communicate with other person from another country, religion, social status, and gender means to be able to have a smooth and harmonious relationship. So that is the important to learn more about cross-cultural communication. Okay, remember the 5 aspects. Okay, let's move on to the problems and in intercultural communication. We have ethnocentrism. Okay, ethnocentrism is the term applied to ethnic bias. Okay, this term comes from the word ethnos, meaning nation, and center. Okay, this is the conscious or unconscious world view coming from a person's own perspective, which establish an archetype or rating of another groups in reference to the ideal of his or her own group. Example of ethnocentrism. Okay, here in the Philippines. Okay, in the Philippines can be observed during the 2000 bar exam. Okay, results. Okay, the 2017 bar exam results. Okay, when the results of the bar exam were posted online on social media, the comment section became a platform where people questioned the results. Some even saying that they do not know the schools where the top examinees come from, since these schools were not from Metro Manila. And one citizen even questioned the integrity of school. This behavior clearly shows how Manileños see provincial schools see, okay, when it comes to the bar results. So meaning to say, pag sinabi nating ethnocentrism, nagkakaroon tayo ng sariling pananaw, lalo na sa isang particular na issues. Okay, just for example, yung 27 bar exam results nga. So nagulat yung karamihan na bakit hindi kung bakit karamihan sa mga nag-top notcher during that time ay galing sa mga province or institution from uh, different provinces. Okay? So, nagulat sila kung bakit gano'n, and then kung question nila yung results kung bakit, anong nangyari, kung bakit hindi nag-top yung mga top universities here in Manila. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng ethnocentrism. Okay, next is stereotype or stereotyping. Okay, stereotyping is the generalization made about a group of people underestimating their culture. Okay, stereotyping assumes members of a group of people share the same characteristics. When one stereotypes, you judge how a person behaves or looks based on what you believe about the group where they belong. Okay, one of the usual stereotyping we hear are about women. Okay, women are still being boxed by society when it comes to rearing children. Okay, it is expected that women should have children in a certain age range while men are given the chance to do whatever they want until whatever age. Okay, that women must always prioritize building a family rather than building their own career. Okay, this Stereotype is still rampant up until now, even if a lot of groups around the world have strived for equality in gender roles. Okay, another kind of stereotype can be seen in local televisions. Okay, usually women protagonists have long hair, okay, while antagonist women have short or curly wavy hair. Okay, another thing to observe is how rich families are usually seen in a formal clothes even if they're inside their houses and will not be attending any formal event. Okay, these stereotypes are very far from real rich families who dress simply when going out or even dress in plain house clothes when they are inside their house. Okay, sinabi nating stereotype, ito yung mga kaugalian o pangkumbaga magpahanggang ngayon, yun pa rin yung kaisipan. For example, sa mga kababaihan, 'di ba? Pag sinabing kababaihan, ayan, sa bahay lang, okay, taga-alaga ng mga anak, okay, taga-alaga ng pamilya. So more on handling household chores, okay? Yun lang yung dapat na magawa ng isang babae. So sa ngayon, 'di ba, nagkakaroon na tayo ng tinatawag na equality. So meaning to say kung ano yung nagagawa ng lalaki, kaya din gawin ng mga babae lalo na pagdating sa pagtratrabaho. So yun yung tinatawag nating stereotyping or stereotype. So sa mga telebisyon naman, lalo na sa mga teleserye, okay, 'di ba kapag sabi dito kapag ang bida dapat mahaba ang buhok and then malalaman mo daw kapag ang kontrabida ay maikli or curly yung buhok. Okay, lalo na sa mga teleserye. Okay, next. Prejudice. Okay, prejudice is one has a negative preconceived notion, feelings, or attitudes against cultural group. Okay, these assumptions are often made even if there is a little or no interaction with this said group at all. For example, okay, the prejudice towards Muslims. Okay, in Manila, it can be observed that Catholics are usually wary of Muslims. Okay, the author has observed how their neighbors are always hesitant or reserved when interacting with their Muslim neighbor. Okay, rarely did anyone talk to their Muslim neighbors during events or gatherings. Okay, this prejudice usually comes from how Muslims are portrayed by media. Thus, when one encounters a Muslim in the society, their prejudice for the certain group kicks in. Okay? So more on maling akala yung nagiging perception natin pagdating sa mga Muslims. Okay? Lalo na sa mga maling kahulugan, lalo na sa media, yung mga Muslims. Pero pag nakikilala pala natin sila, hindi pala sila ganun. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng prejudice. Again, how to avoid intercultural communication. Okay, first, delay attributing meaning. Nonverbal communication plays a big role in avoiding intercultural communication. Break down, avoid interpreting nonverbal signals made by a person from another culture until you have read and studied their culture. When visiting. Okay, an example can be when attending church service with Iglesia ni Cristo. Okay, men and women cannot sit together in one side even if they are already married. Women are also expected to wear a dress or skirt during service. Okay, if you are a member of INC or Iglesia ni Cristo. So may ganito silang kultura. Okay? Ako din nakapag visit na din ako sa INC and then oo nga, magkaiba nga yung upuan. ng babae at saka ng lalaki kahit na sila ay kasal. Okay, another example can be how you give your business card in Japan. Okay, in Japan, you are expected to hold your business card with both hands. Okay, to bow when you give it to someone. Okay, the business card must be turned towards the receiver. Okay, then the receiver, on the other hand, must also receive the business card with both hands, with head bowed slightly, and must display the card for the duration of the meeting. Okay. Here in the Philippines, kahit naman isang kamay lang yung ginagamit natin sa pag-abot ng business card, okay lang. Pero sa Japan, kailangan both hands daw yung pagbibigay ng business card, at the same time, nagbabaw tayo to show respect. Okay? Develop awareness of your nonverbal communication. Be mindful of how you use your face, gestures, body, language, and voice when communicating, understanding how certain cultures react to certain body language can smoothen and make the experience with other cultures pleasurable. Okay? Be aware of your voice, of your fidgeting, or even the space you allot when communicating with people from another cultures. Okay, a thumbs up sign in Filipino means you approve or okay. Okay, while in other countries such as Middle East, the thumbs up sign is almost equivalent to giving someone the middle finger. So, meaning to say, yung mga gestures na ginagamit natin dito sa Pilipinas ay meron ding kahulugan sa ibang bansa. So sa atin sa Pilipino, kapag nag-thumbs up tayo, okay, meaning to say, okay, approve, di ba, nag-agree tayo. And then sa pagdating naman sa Middle East, kapag nag-thumbs up tayo, meaning to say, yun nga, yung ibig sabihin ng middle finger na FU. So yun yung ibig sabihin, parang minumura nyo sila pag nag-thumbs up ka sa kanila. Okay? Be mindful sa paggamit ng mga gestures or body language. Okay? Lalo na kapag mga kausap natin ay ibang lahi. Kasi merong mga instances na okay sa atin, pagdating sa kanila hindi. Okay? Positive yung ibig sabihin sa atin, pagdating sa kanila negative. Okay, check whether nonverbal messages corresponds to verbal messages. It is given that you will not be able to understand the language of another group or culture immediately. So you have to be very observant and persistent in listening when you communicate with themselves. Sometimes misinterpretation can happen with the verbal and nonverbal messages comes in a conflict with each other. Okay, paying attention and being very mindful of how a person speaks or reacts can give you clues if you really are communicating with each other. Okay, that's all for today.